Hello again, guys. We're back on another Sunday live stream. How's everyone doing this week? So guys, this is that point in the week where the weekend is almost over and we're all getting back into that kind of working mode, ready for one Monday. But this stream is where we try and clutch back that weekend feeling, am I right? So guys, for anyone joining the live stream that hasn't seen what we're about to do today, this is the Bannerlord BRE Sunday event. It's where we see hundreds and hundreds of players, sometimes around the 500, 600 mark, clash in a single battle. Just recently, the Bretonians, or BRE, they have split out their event into two separate ones. So as we speak, there are actually two concurrent events happening at the same time. But we're going to be tracking the BRE versus CI event tonight. And this is actually the first time we're going to have done this. So the great thing about this event is that normally with these Sunday ones, you'll have the Bretonians, which are this huge super clan with like 300 players on the battlefield. And then we have the coalition of clans, which are a lot of smaller clans that go up against them. The nice, unique thing about this battle is that Corona Sibiricus, or CI, are another huge clan that can bring hundreds of units to the field. So I'm hoping for a pretty good one today, where we'll actually see two large superpowers go head to head with a battle, you know, the likes of which that we haven't really seen on this channel before. So bear with me, guys. You know, this will be a bit of a test. I've not done a stream of this event before, but we will discover it together. So just before I switch to the game camera, I will be keeping an eye on chat tonight. So guys, if you've got any questions for me about the game or the channel, just type them in the chat. I've got a nice little feed coming up over here where I can see them all coming through. And we are streaming to both YouTube and Twitch tonight. So if you're on either one of those, I finally managed to sort it out so that I get the chat from both right here on my screen. Little micro, you know, improvements, every single one that we do. So, without further ado, let me switch to the game camera. So we are currently just in the warm-up phase. I think the event is just starting. All the different clans are spawning in. And we're basically just waiting for all the players to be present. So I can see that there's about 200 and something spawned in so far. Probably only maybe half or so of what we're going to be expecting tonight. So we're in the warm-up phase right now. And this is just where all the units spawn in. And they basically just practice, chill, you know, hang out until the battle officially begins. So, I mean, while we're waiting, guys, why don't we take a little closer look at some of the different clans and just introduce some of the new viewers tonight to some of the new ones. Regu, IPL, welcome. Absolutely, bud. I was saying in the last live stream that IPL do seem to show up in the chat pretty much every single stream. But we'll talk about the IPL later. But now let's focus on the units here. So, Corona Sibiricus, or CI, these are the guys that have this banner with the double-headed eagle. They are a formidable clan. I think they originated as a sort of Spanish clan, but since sort of starting, they have actually branched out with a few subdivisions of different sort of countries. So I know that there's like an English department to their clan. Department, is that the right word? Maybe not. Makes it sound like an organization. And but on the other side, we've got the Bretonians. So these guys are heavily inspired by sort of French medieval lore. And the general aesthetic that they go for is also inspired by the Bretonians from the Warhammer franchise, although these guys have made some nice subtle changes. But, you know, anyone that's familiar with the Warhammer games will almost certainly recognize these incredible armor sets with the classic red and blue of the Bretonian colors. But as we move up the hill, we have a few other Bretonian duchies. This is Artois, which you can see from the dark red and the, I guess that's a boar. I was going to say pig. It's got the tusks, hasn't it? So it'll be a boar. And these guys are led by Chilveroy of Artois, which is one of the legendary knights. Moving further up here, we've got, do you know, Benoni was teaching me the name of this one. Kizaru, there we go, which have a nice stag's head shield, very recognizable in their red and black shields. So it looks like we are still waiting for more players to start spawn in. We're currently up at about just under 300 players at the moment. And I think we can expect a few more to come in. Down here, we have the Men of Langi. This is another Bretonian duchy. Again, very iconic with their white and blue shields. Very easy to spot these guys on the battlefield. They're moving over here. These guys are the Duchy of Gascony, being led by Hubold, who was another one of the legendary knights from the Bretonian kingdom. So guys, we have 10 seconds left on the counter, so we have about 300 players in the battle so far. I'm hoping that as the match continues, more clans will join and we'll get this a little bit larger. But guys, even if we just have 300 tonight, I'm pretty happy with that. That should make some pretty good scenes. So just while we're waiting for the various clans to spawn in, let's just have a quick look at the battlefield. This is one of the BRE mod packs. I would say one of their older maps. One which we haven't seen on this channel for quite some time, but it is a very, very cool map, this one. You'll notice in the center there, that incredible bridge that just spans over the valley. Honestly, I'm hoping that at some point during this battle, we'll be fighting over that one. And actually, do you know what? Not even some point, because the round has just begun, and you can see from the icons at the top there that control point C is the one in play. So both teams will be heading towards this bridge, looking to take this control point with the slightly awkward floating flag. Fair enough. Well, you know, Bretonia, they got a bit of magic in their kingdom, haven't they? So it's probably got something to do with that. Lore accurate. So we've got cavalry from one side sweeping across over there, but I think rather than focus on them, let's start the first couple rounds focusing more on the individual units. So checking over here, it does look like we're on the Coronis Ibericus or CI side. Here we've got the Ome Guard. They are moving towards the control point. Very, very nice armor sets, these guys. They are a subdivision of the Coronis Ibericus clan. Let's have a little look behind them, see who we've got coming up the rear. Here we've got one of the main just Coronis Ibericus forces. This is what I would probably call their core unit, just using the classic CI branding. They're being led by Sir Alex. He is the overall leader of Coronis Ibericus. Very, very recognizable with his stag's head helmet and very cool black cloak and armor. I think he even has like a little design on his shield of him as well. Very, very cool. As we come through the rear again, here is the Principality of Toledo. Another Coronis Ibericus subdivision. And interestingly, somebody wearing some BRE armor. That's going to get very, very confusing. But they are moving up the bridge. And look at that. They've just beaten the Bretonians to the bridge. So it looks like Gascony from the BRE are leading the front. They have a huge number of men in this unit. Look at this. Normally for Gascony, we only see about 10 men or so on the battlefield, but they have a huge contingent of maybe 20 or so men there. Very, very cool. That guy from CI getting ballsy. Look at that. Straight up against the shields. Oh, he's even dropped his shields, just taunting the BRE. Oh my goodness. The guys at Gascony are not going to like that. Behind, though, we do have some more subdivisions. We've got the Men of Curon, which are the king's own unit. They are being led by... Oh, in fact, I thought that was the main king himself, but no, that's the leader of the Knights Pilgrim. Doesn't look like Leoncoeur is fighting on the battlefield today. So we are just currently in a phase where there's a little bit of a stare-off. Huron moving up to the bridge, followed by the Knights Pilgrim, or the Order of the Lake, in their incredible sort of midnight black armor. Okay, here we go. So the Bretonians have given the full charge. They are moving towards the front line. Swords clash. And it's kind of like a passive kind of commit at the moment. The Bretonians just sort of sending in a few units just to test out the shield wall. Let's see what happens. Okay, interesting. Bretonians choosing to fall back ever so slightly. They've kind of got their forces split, half on the hilltop here, half actually on the bridge. So I think at the moment, Coronis Ibiricus are committing maybe slightly more men to this front line. See, Hubold of Gascony in the back line there. He's the guy with the dragon helmet. He's the guy basically leading all of those red and blue guys with the sword decals on their shields. Coronis Ibiricus, though, do seem to be winning the momentum battle in the shield wall. They are pushing the Bretonians forward. Although that said, Gascony are pushing forward ever so slightly around this left-hand side. Left-hand side for them anyway. Do you know what, guys? This is the beautiful thing about Bannerlord. The momentum mechanics, you know, the more people you have behind you, the more weight there is to your body of men. You can actually push through and push the enemy back. And yeah, look at that. The Bretonians are beginning to push them back. Crikey, these bridge battles are very, very different to what we normally see. Very close quarters. Very difficult for the men to land their hits. But looking at the numbers at the top, there's, you know, about an even number left on both teams. So I think they've lost approximately the same number of men. Both down to about 115. So far, a very, very even fight. This is what we like to see, guys. While this is going on, let's just have a quick look around to make sure there's nothing else happening on the battlefield that we're missing. Looks like there is a small cavalry engagement. And actually, let's just go over here, see what these guys are up to. I can see a few infantrymen as well. Small skirmish has broken out over here. Looks like Langui and the Order of the Lake have managed to get around the sides. They're being harassed by the Coronis Ibiricus cavalry, but it looks like they might be trying a wide flank, trying to head towards the bridge and get behind the Coronis Ibiricus men. So moving back to the main fight. Oh, guys, massive surge forwards from Coronis Ibiricus there. The Bretonians having to fall back ever so slightly. Have they committed too many men to that flank around the back? Oh, I think they might have done. I mean, the numbers are still even, but I think we're about to see the Bretonians just drop in numbers as Coronis Ibiricus push through and mushroom out into the BRE infantry over here. Yep, and look at that, guys. The BRE, I think, are the green bar on the right. Bannerlord had this weird bug where the scores are reversed at the top. But yeah, just look at that. As soon as Coronis Ibiricus pushed them off the bridge, their numbers really, really starting to dwindle. Ekim Ulathar, welcome to the live stream, bud. Good to have you here. Oh, do you know what? I missed that. So Ekim was just saying that apparently somebody fell off the bridge to their death. Ah, it's a shame. We'll see if we can look out for more things like that as the battle continues. Epic moments are what we live for. So there we go, guys. Coronis Ibiricus absolutely cleaned up on this side, proving that they are the best clan in round one. There are 7 men from the Bretonians left, probably on this side of the field. It's probably just the remaining men that they had on that flank. Oh, but guys, what a first round. What a first round indeed. 1 man remaining. Looks like they're chasing him down here. And when he gets taken out, which he's just been taken out, looks like, there he goes. The round will come to an end, and the next round will begin. So guys, if you're just joining us, this is the BRE Sunday event for Mount and Blade Bannerlord, where we see hundreds of players clash in a huge medieval milsim battle. We have just finished 1 round, which went to the Coronis Ibiricus side, the Spanish clan. But do you know what? It's early, guys. Anything could happen. CI won this one by quite some margin, but let's see if the Bretonians can pull this back in the next round. So I think rather than start with CI, let's head over to the other control point or the other spawn point and watch as the Bretonians spawn in. They start here in this camp. And guys, just because I love to say it, if you are new to this stream, every single one of the infantrymen here is an actual player. There's no players controlling AI units here. Literally every single character is a real player. And the most incredible part is this isn't even the biggest event we've seen. I would say this is probably just over half of what these servers can handle. So if you think this is cool, honestly, you should see some of the other streams we do. So as we see the various units forming up, this is the Order of the Lake. This is the Bretonians' dual-wielding shock infantry. Fanatics for the Lady of the Lake. They are moving towards the front line. We also have Artenois Artois, we saw these guys at the beginning of the stream forming up. They look like they're bringing up the rear of the Bretonian forces. So let's just follow these guys as they head towards control point A. So last round was a bridge battle. This will be fighting over a slightly different part of the map. Oh, Ekim, honestly, bud. I mean, this game is great on PlayStation 4, but the only downside is that you don't have access to these modded events. Genuinely, if you have access to a PC and you want to get involved in these events, I would say it's money well spent. You know, Bannerlord has a lot of graphics controls, so it can typically be run on most machines. But honestly, man, I feel you. So moving towards the front line, we've got the men of Langui moving towards the front lines. It looks like they're being led by one of the second in command guys. Okay, Bretonians forming up. We can see Coronis Ibericus just forming up on the other side of the field over there. Look, they're coming down the road from the top of the hill. And the Bretonians deciding to draw a line here, form up. Not 100% sure where the control point is in this one, but we'll probably see it soon. At the moment, neither team seems to be capping the point, choosing instead to move towards each other's forces. Look at this. Just look at the number of infantry in each unit there. Every single one is a player. As we move around, Coronis Ibericus coming in. I was just about to say, actually, Langui need to start falling back. They're being left behind by their men. Oh, this guy from the Ome Guard getting involved, chasing them down. So I think that was a wise shout. If Langui had stayed there, I think they would have been surrounded and destroyed. Cavalry from the Bretonians coming in, jumping over the fence. Being chased by the cavalry from Coronis Ibericus. So here's a clan that we've not actually spoken about yet. This is the Order of Santiago in their white and red shields. They are once again one of the subdivisions of Coronis Ibericus, carrying a nice cross. Yeah, very cool, very authentic. Although maybe not historically accurate, I know that the entirety of Coronis Ibericus is very loosely based on sort of medieval feudal Spain. So a lot of their graphics and armor sets are kind of inspired by that time period and location. So here we go, guys. Bretonians pushing in. Coronis Ibericus are outnumbered on this side, a very, very thin line. But it does look like Castile and the Ome Guard doing a wide flank coming in from behind. So actually the Bretonians are sandwiched between the two forces here. Oh my goodness. They are absolutely surrounded by Coronis Ibericus on all sides. What happened there? Will they be able to fight their way out of this? BRE archers getting a really, really nice position on the rocks. They'll be able to fire down into the battle down there. But at the moment, the Knights Pilgrim here just protecting the archers from the CI infantry trying to get up the hill there. Moving outwards, I mean, just look at the numbers, guys. That was a phenomenal, phenomenal flank from the Bretonians. Sorry, from the Coronis Ibericus clan. I think the main mistake that the Bretonians made there was they charged all in on the left-hand side. And to be fair, guys, you know, sometimes that's a legitimate tactic, because dividing and conquering is exactly what you want to do. But I think they just didn't push through early enough, and Coronis Ibericus were able to wrap round and sandwich them between two forces. So there we go, guys. It's a sad sight. The Bretonians get chased down on all sides, and Coronis Ibericus win the day. Look, this squire here doing his best to hold out, but he just can't do anything against those numbers, and he goes down. Very valiantly fought. So let's just zoom out a little bit. Get a nice bird's eye view. So as that round comes to an end, guys, That is 2 wins to Coronis Ibericus. No wins to Bretonia so far, but the night is still young. The Bretonians could turn it around. Sometimes you just have to start or get a good start to one of the battles, then you can steamroll from there. So let's see if the Bretonians can pull it back in round 3. So we are fighting over control point A this time, which I think is the one over here in the town. Somewhere in the town centre. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, this is B. Oh, fair enough. So A actually is the control point which we were fighting over before on the other side of the map. But while we wait for the teams to come together, let's take a look at Coronis Ibericus as they form up. In fact, you know what? Let's do something even more interesting. Let's follow the Coronis Ibericus cavalry. They're doing a good thing here. Rather than hanging around with the infantry, they are choosing to strike out ahead. Generally speaking, in Bannerlord multiplayer, the cavalry divisions will scout out ahead, try and see if they can get some early victories, because as the opposing team marches towards the front line, you know, if they leave one of their infantry units towards the back, or maybe leave the archers exposed, you know, it makes for slim, or good pickings, should I say, for the cavalry. So let's see, as they head towards the BRE side, whether they can find some good pop shots there. Looks like the Bretonian cavalry did just spot them coming. They are moving to counter. Okay, look, we've got a cavalry engagement. In they go. Just remember, guys, Coronis Ibericus are the units there with the kind of like white circles with the eagles on their shields. And the Bretonians are the slightly more French medieval knight looking units, typically in the kind of red and blue armor. Oh, some good hits. Look, some cavalry being knocked off their horses. This guy here, without a horse, just trying to do what he can. Oh, crikey. He is being absolutely battered by the Bretonian cavalry. Yep, I think that's wise. Just trying to hot tail out of there, see if he can make it back to the infantry. Let's see if we can find the Bretonians. So interesting, they are trying a different tactic this time. Look, half of their force are going down into the valley towards the control point. The other half of their forces currently masking their numbers on top of the hill. So the nice thing about being positioned here is that from down here, Coronis Ibericus will not be able to see them. Or maybe just a few men there, but they won't have any idea about the numbers out there. So let's see what happens. You know, sometimes splitting up forces like this can be a bad thing if you don't get your forces all committed, you know, because Coronis Ibericus could just send all their men, wipe out these guys over here, while, you know, one of the teams is hanging out up here. But, you know, looks like they're heading down this precarious section in the rocks. Let's hope none of them take full damage. Moving towards the front line. So for now, you can see Coronis Ibericus in the distance there. Bretonians are forming up, waiting just to see what they do. And interestingly, I think maybe to balance things out, because perhaps Coronis Ibericus started with a few more men last round, it looks like the Principality of Toledo has been asked to switch sides. So although they aren't technically fighting for their clan, they're fighting for the Bretonians, they will be trying their hardest, because even within each clan, guys, each of the groups, there's fierce rivalry between them. So these guys will be lapping up an opportunity to show their clanmates on the other side that they are the best. The CI, Coronis Ibericus, a fantastic shield wall here. Look at this. We've got the boys from Castile in the back there. That, I believe, is a UK or English-speaking division of the clan. Oh, and this is what we like to see, guys. Medieval knights forming up several lines. Oh, and look at this. The Omegard fighting on top of the cliff up here. I did not spot this. The Knights Pilgrim and Artinois going head to head with Coronis Ibericus on this side. It does look like the BRE have the slight numbers advantage up here, so I think it's going to be up to them to finish up quick and then join their allies further down the hill. And they will need to be quick, because if most of their men are up there, it does mean that Coronis Ibericus will have the numbers advantage down here on the hill. At the moment, really, really nice battle line. The shield wall is fully intact, with Coronis Ibericus on the left and the Bretonians on the right. Okay, but tactical retreat from the Bretonians, falling back ever so slightly. Just sort of condensing their lines into a small blob. Oh, I don't know though, but I'm not sure if that was a good tactic. They're falling back, but I mean... Oh, but you know what? So this was all on purpose. Look, Knights Pilgrim coming down the hill there. So the BRE did get Coronis Ibericus to surge forwards, especially so the Knights Pilgrim could filter in from the back there. I wonder if Coronis Ibericus saw that coming. That was a pretty cool play, actually, I must say. But will it pay off? Because by falling back, I think they did lose a lot of men, and the CI now have that forward momentum. Do you know what, guys? I hate to say it. Although that was quite an even start, this might be another win for Coronis Ibericus. Look, that forward-facing line has pretty much wiped out the entirety of the Bretonian force over here. The Knights Pilgrim do still have a small contingent. Oh, in fact, no, they don't even have that. Look, they've been wiped out over here. So there's about 28 men. The BRE left. Whereabouts are they on the battlefield? I guess they just must be down here in the melee somewhere, just being gradually cleaned up one by one. There we go. That seems to be most of the Bretonians. Do you know what? It's a sad, sad day to be the BRE. Normally, they are quite good at wiping the floor with the coalition of clans, but today, Coronis Ibericus are just bringing their A game, guys, and managing to dominate the battlefield. At least in the first 3 rounds. Let's put it that way. So guys, just while we're waiting for the next round to begin, I'm just going to stick my main camera on. Let's just have a bit of a think about those first couple rounds. So just want to say, anyone joining us, this is the Bretonian Sunday event. We're following the Coronis Ibericus versus BRE battle. And this is where Bannerlord's 2 largest clans go head to head in a 300 player battle. And at the moment, Coronis Ibericus, they are absolutely dominating. We've done 3 rounds so far. They've won all of them. And I think at the moment, can't really place exactly what's going wrong because the positioning of both teams does tend to be quite good. I almost hate to say it because I love the BRE. They've got some phenomenal fighters on their team, but it just feels like Coronis Ibericus in these first few rounds have just been fighting that little bit better. They've been good on the front lines, getting the hits in. They've also been good by, flanking the enemy, managing to get behind when it matters most. So it does look like round 3 is about to start. So enough of this guy's face. Let's jump into the battle. So let's start on the Bretonian side and see what's happening over here. So guys, anyone joining us, I will be watching chat today. So if you've got any questions about the event or to the channel, Matt's Fiefdom, let me know. I'll do my best to respond as quick as I can. So here we have the Knights of Bretonia forming up. Looking very, very magnificent in those armor sets. I must say, guys, the BRE, their developers have been cooking, honestly. I would say they're definitely by far one of the best looking clans in Bannerlord with these custom armor and custom skins. Very, very cool. So we are fighting over control point C once again, which is the bridge in the center of the map. And then once again, the Principality of Toledo, which is technically a Coronis Ibericus force, are fighting for the Bretonians, just to balance the numbers nicely. I'll tell you what, guys, it's a good time to be part of Bannerlord multiplayer. When I started covering these events maybe 2 and a bit years ago, we barely managed to scrounge together about 450 players for a single event. But tonight, not only is there this event, which has about 350 players in it right now, there is another parallel event happening right now that probably has another 500, 600 players in. So just in the last couple of years, the popularity of these has doubled, maybe even, I'd be brave enough to say even tripled. And honestly, I am super super excited for the future of Bannerlord. Or maybe should I say the future of Bannerlord multiplayer, because guys, this is something special. This is exactly the sort of gaming which I wish existed when I was a kid. So here we go. Oh, battle facing in the middle. Look, so two of the legendary lords from both sides having a 1v1 duel in the center of the field. We've got Hubold of Gascony fighting off against the leader of Castile. I'm not sure about his name. If anyone knows it, please do post in the comments. Hubold is the guy in the red and the blue with the dragon helmet. And the leader of Castile is in the white and red checkered armor. Oh, guys, they are fighting without shields. Very, very cool. Actually, look, just behind them, you can see the fact that Coronis Ibiricus have chosen... Oh, and there we go. Hubold takes them out. The Bretonians take that 1 versus 1 duel. Oh, the guys at Castile are not going to like that. That will be an absolute insult to their honor. Down the hill, look, we've got the Bretonian cavalry sweeping around the side. And what's this? It's a Coronis Ibiricus. Oh, no, no. I was really excited then, guys, but that's actually the Principality of Toledo who are fighting for the Bretonians. Do you know, I got so excited that I can barely even speak properly. But they're going to be heading round for a wide flank. It looks like the main battle is actually taking place over here. The Bretonians choosing to move up on this side. Oh, Ekim, good question, bud. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with the lords of Coronis Ibiricus, but yeah, maybe. So both teams are fully committed now. The Bretonians well and truly going on the offensive. Yep, and actually doing really well because the guys from Castile here slightly caught out. They need to get to the front line and add their men to the numbers before the Bretonians get the advantage. Same with the Principality of Toledo. They need to get their numbers into that front line, otherwise their allies are going to be getting flanked. Have they made it in time? At the moment, numbers very, very even. Too close to call it right now. Either team could win. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see the first Bretonian victory for the rounds. Ooh, Coronis Ibiricus really pushing on this left flank. The BRE falling backwards. But you know what? It's exactly the opposite over here. Bretonians surging forwards, getting the best of Coronis Ibiricus on this side. They are just swarming over the hilltop like ants. Guys, if you're in any doubt of who is who, it's basically the red and yellow guys. That's Coronis Ibiricus. They're the ones that look a bit more Spanish. And the French knights from Bretonia, the red and blue guys with the large sort of square tower shields, that is the BRE, or the Bretonians. We are currently spectating with the unit cards off, just because I think it looks a bit more cinematic and a bit more authentic medieval. Oh, I don't know, guys. It was even for a second there, but Coronis Ibiricus are just starting to pull back late game again. This is a very spread out battle. Rather than being like an authentic medieval shield wall, this is turning into a Hollywood-style brawl as the men spread out and try to get as many kills as they can. And do you know what, guys? I think that's it. I think CI, once again, have just got the slight advantage there. I was a bit worried that horseman was going to fall off there. Manages to bring it back. Very, very controlled indeed. And here we go, guys. The men from CI charging down the hill, taking out those last few Bretonian stragglers. What a round. That guy just trying to see if his horse can fly. Turns out it's not Pegasus, just a regular horse. Although a regular horse with phenomenal ankles to survive that fall. Those Spanish obviously breeding their horses in a very different way to the rest of the world. So here we go. That was the end of round 4, guys. Coronis Ibiricus now have 4 wins. The Bretonians have 0 wins. So let's just see. What is the time? There's about 25 minutes left of the event. So we've had about 4 rounds so far. I reckon we've probably got time for at least 4 more. So if the Bretonians are going to stand any chance at clawing this back, they're going to have to start winning rounds, guys. You know, if Coronis Ibiricus get 1 more win, I'm almost tempted to say that it'll be too many wins for the Bretonians to come back from, so they need to start winning some rounds. If they can win the next 4 rounds consecutively, that might be just what they need to bring their team to victory. It's not looking hopeful, but I mean, you know, we've seen stuff like that happen before on this channel, so maybe today on a Sunday it'll happen again. So round 5 has just begun. Coronis Ibéricus are forming up. We've got the Ome Guard here, moving into battle. Samson, welcome to the live stream, bud. How's it going? Yeah, good to have you here, bud. Good to have you here. So we are watching the Ome Guard move up the hill. Looks like they are forming the vanguard of Coronis Ibéricus as they move towards control point A, which once again is the control point in the valley way in the distance over there. Oh, and they need to be careful because Bretonian cavalry, seeing if they can probe the enemy lines. Spearmen trying to get out. BRE cavalry just trying to take out some men if they can. And then there we go, the Coronis Ibéricus cavalry also coming in, doing what they can. Looks like they did just take out a Bretonian horseman. So brave charge from the Bretonian cavalry there, but I'm not sure if they managed to get any kills there. Valiant effort though. Wrench Monk. Now there's a name that I've not seen for a long time. How the ruddy devil are you, bud? Good to have you here. It's interesting actually because being the French monk, we actually have a few French monks fighting on the battlefield today. So somewhere over here we should have the Knights Pilgrim or the Order of the Lake, and they are the here we go, these guys here. These are basically French monks. They fight for the Bretonians, which are a French clan, and they have the monk uniforms. So there you go, bud. Your brethren, they're on the battlefield. So interesting. So although we are fighting over control point A, both clans are actually choosing to take the path on top of the cliff. So I mean, we've seen this map a lot of times on this channel. I don't think I've ever seen 2 clans fight on this upper section. I mean, you can kind of get the sense that the map creators also didn't think that any fighting would happen up here because it's a little bit less fleshed out than the rest of the map. But still pretty cool nonetheless. So it looks like we are about to see our first forest engagement. Coronis Ibéricus, their front lines here looking very, very strong and formidable. We've got Sir Alex in the back line. He is the leader of Coronis Ibéricus, the main man himself. So he will effectively be commanding the entire force. And then over on the CI right, we have the Ome Guard, Order of Santiago, and they are pushing in, guys. I mean, they don't have the men on this side, but I'll tell you what, good tactic. They are just kind of like boxing in the Bretonians. You know, like when farmers use sheepdog and they blow the whistles, you know, try and get the sheep into a nice position. That's kind of what the Order of Santiago did there. Oh, but the Bretonians having none of it. They are actually pushing them backwards. So the Bretonians are fanning out. Half of their men charging on the left, half of their men charging on the right. I just hope they committed enough men to this right-hand side, because in the centre, Coronis Ibéricus are pushing them backwards. So moving over here, let's have a look. How are the French monks surviving? Order of the Lake here. These are the Bretonian shock infantry. Very, very rarely do you see them with their shields out, always preferring to wield those 2-handed swords. And I mean, they're doing good, guys. They've cleaned up on that right-hand flank. They are sweeping across. And do you know what? For the first time since this stream begun, the Bretonians do actually have the numeric advantage. They're putting about 15 men ahead so far. If they can keep this up, that might be exactly what they need to secure their first victory of the stream. Small graphical glitch there. Oh, guys, Bretonians absolutely cleaning up over here. Ekim, good question, bud. So Ekim's just asked, so this isn't just Warhammerverse, I'm guessing. Yeah, exactly that. So this is very, very loosely based on the Warhammer universe, but you also see a lot of other clans. So the Bretonians, they are more or less inspired by the Bretonians from Warhammer, but the clan that they are fighting against is a Spanish Bannerlord clans. So we've got a bit of a clash of two different worlds here. But honestly, if Warhammer is more your thing, the Bretonians do some heavily Warhammer-themed events, which you'll find a few videos of that on the channel. I think I've got a great one recently, which was the Chaos faction against the Bretonians on a siege of Baston. And honestly, it's one of my favourite videos I've ever made. Worth checking out. So there we go, guys. Look at the numbers. The Bretonians on 67 men. Cabronis Ibericus on 32. And this might actually represent the first victory for the Bretonians. Finally, look at this charge coming out of the trees. They are just chasing Cabronis Ibericus back against this cliff top. Look, the CI archers doing what they can, but the Bretonians just chasing them off. They run for their lives, but there's nothing they can do. Look, BRE cavalry coming in from the side, and that's it. The last few stragglers from CI get cleaned up. And that looks like it's going to be the BRE's first victory of the stream. And do you know what, guys? Based on what we were saying at the beginning, it's exactly what they need. This might be the dawn of a comeback for the Bretonians. If they can keep this up, win the next few rounds as well, they might be able to secure a victory today. So here we go. BRE moving up the hill, just seeking out those remaining CI infantrymen. Yeah, look, here they are, doing what they can. This guy fighting off against superior odds, just doing what he can, but he's currently facing 4, 5, 6. Oh, and he goes down. Valiantly fought. I've been in that position a few times, guys, and let's just say I've only ever lasted 2 seconds, but so very well done for that guy to last as long as he did. Ekim, yeah, absolutely, bud. Those BRE versus Chaos battles, they are something special. The Bretonian modding team, they actually managed to create some larger infantry for the kind of Chaos armored men, and they also managed to implement trolls into the game. And I was talking to the guys about it actually from BRE. They were telling me that the trolls, unlike normal units, they kind of have unbreakable momentum, so they can just charge straight through shield walls, break them up. I think during the events, they do have like a limit on the number of players that can do trolls. It's kind of like the equivalent of cavalry, I guess. But yeah, some really interesting dynamics in those games for sure. Personal account 04. We might have seen that, bud. Was that the one that happened on the bridge where we had Hubold facing off against the leader of Castile, or was it one of the other ones? Because if it was that one, if you wind back of maybe like 10-15 minutes or so, you'll probably see that in the stream. So here we go, guys. The BRE having now a second wind. We've got 300 players on the battlefield right now, and the Bretonians are forming up into their various regiments, moving towards the front lines. So it looks like we are fighting over the bridge again, control point C. Do you know, which is a shame, guys, actually. I was really hoping that we'd see a battle in the town over on the left. And that said, though, even though it is actually the bridge that's the control point, the BRE are choosing to do a really wide flank around this left-hand side. So hopefully we will be seeing parts of this battlefield that we've not seen yet on the live stream. Guys, anyone that's not familiar with these events and just joining the live stream, this is the Bretonian Sunday event. This is where Bannerlord's largest clans go head-to-head and face off against each other. And the best part is, every single one of those guys you can see there's a real player. There's no AI, no computer. It's literally just multiplayer at its finest. So the Bretonians are coming round this left-hand side. And you can see there in the distance by the bridge, CI is in the middle, taking the bridge. But, you know, they're going to have to be careful because there's a reason why there are control points. These control points, basically, you'll see the morale at the top of the screen. Once a team takes one of these control points, the morale of the opposing team will begin to drop. And once it goes to 0, that's it. This team wins. You know, they kind of exist just to force two armies to kind of clash Because, you know, it helps avoid situations where two armies just kind of move around the battlefield and never engage. Those control points force teams to come towards each other. So Coronis Ibericus currently on the hill, and the Bretonians doing a huge, huge flank. Let's see what's happening down here. Here we go, look, they're travelling down the cliffside. And moving off here. Hopefully none of them taking too much full damage. Oh, but look at this. Archers from Coronis Ibericus firing off the hill into the men down here. Yep, great shout. They are sidestepping. They've got their shields towards those incoming arrows. Although probably unlikely to get some kills from that distance. If they can land just a few hits, you know, it wears the enemy down just that little bit. And that might just give them the advantage when the main clash begins. So hopefully, guys, at some point in the battle, we will see the control point that's normally here in the centre of town come into effect. Because, I'll be honest, this town is one of my favourite places to fight. Oh, personal account about the duel. Okay, yeah, no, okay, we must have missed that one then. There was another one in the forest. Oh, I bet that was epic. We'll see if we can pay closer attention as this map or match continues. See if we can capture a few more of those epic duels. Yeah, and personal account 04, just confirming there when we were chatting about the Chaos mod pack. Yeah, the troll units are controlled based on the number of units on the battlefield. So here we go, guys. Bretonians moving up the hill. Look at this into the sunset. This is beautiful. I don't know, but ever since War Sales came out, it does feel like the graphics of this game, or just those kind of lighting effects, are just that little bit better at the moment. So as they come over the top here, Coronis Ibericus are over in the distance. The Heramalt archers here from the Bretonians. These are the most elite archers from the BRE force, doing what they can fire towards the enemy. The morale is ticking down, guys. So the Bretonians, you know, they've got 3 stars or so to go. If they wait too much longer, Coronis Ibericus will be able to take the morale victory without a single sword being struck. Just look at this. In the shield wall. Doing what they can. The men of Castile over here. I guess they must be fighting for the BRE, because they're on the BRE side. Okay, look at this. Bretonians are moving in. Doing a heavy push on this lower side here. Oh, but Coronis Ibericus countering it with a huge push through the middle. They've actually managed to break up the Bretonians into 2 forces there. Look. BRE on the right, BRE on the left. Coronis Ibericus pushing them aside. It's almost like Moses just using his hands to part the sea. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely epic. Cavalry from the Bretonians there coming in from the bridge. Principality of Toledo making their way into the battle. Oh, they are behind Hubald of Gascony there. He doesn't realise. Oh, and he gets executed by the Principality there. Although, is he managing to escape? Look, he's getting away. This guy's a phenomenal fighter. There are not many players that could survive an attack like that, but he is still going. Still, let's zoom out, see if we can keep an eye on him in the bottom right there as we just survey the rest of the field. Looks like CI, Coronis Ibericus, have got the upper hand now. Let's just check back in on Hubald. How's he doing? Ooh, taking a few hits. Will he do it? Just look at the number of blocks there, guys. Oh, and he goes down. That was some epic fighting indeed. Sorry, Hubald, if you're watching, I know I witness you die quite a lot on this channel. It's not personal, I promise. You're just a very good fighter, bud, and it always looks very, very cool. It's why we focus on your character so much. And coincidentally, probably why we see you die as well. Yeah, Ekin's saying, quick men, let's grab a drink from the tavern before the battle. Yeah, absolutely. That must be why the Bretonians went through the town first. Get a little bit of that Dutch courage. So there we go, guys. Round number 6 comes to an end. And I think that's going to be another victory for the Coronis Ibericus side. Very, very well played to them. But, you know, that was close. I wouldn't say that was a steamroll. Either team could have won that for the most part. It's just in that last kind of like couple of seconds, they just managed to sort of just claw ahead. Good question from Ekin. Do Lords have more HP? To my understanding, I think every single player on the battlefield has the exact same HP. Any kind of armor changes, I think, should be cosmetic. I think in the Chaos events that might be a little bit different, but for the general, on the most part, yeah, every single unit on the battlefield should have consistent HP stats, you know, attack damage, block, shield armor, so on and so forth. All the visuals are purely cosmetic. I mean, if anyone from Bretonia is watching, feel free to clarify if that's incorrect. That's always been my understanding. Yeah, in fact, personal account has just backed me up on that point, so yeah, that must be the case. Thank you, bud. I appreciate all the effort you're putting into sharing some nice details in the chat tonight. One thing I always like actually while covering these events is trying to learn something new about Bannerlord or the multiplayer scene or some of the units. So if you've got any more tidbits you'd like to share, please keep them coming because I am lapping them up. So who haven't we focused on at the moment? I suppose we haven't given Castile too much love. We've seen them once or twice. But these guys, yeah, I think there's a few of the ex-Kingdom of Borderland players on this team. But yeah, Castile, I have seen them fight on the battlefield. You often see these guys doing some quite complicated maneuvers. Rarely do you see them just on the front line. They're normally round the back, doing some cheeky flanks or something equivalent. Looking very magnificent though with their red capes there. Very, very cool. It almost looks like these guys might be like a kind of shock infantry unit. Very few shields, lots of double-handed weapons. That guy dropping his polearm. So once again, Control Point C. I really hope before this match is over, guys, that we get to see at least one battle in the town. But once again, we are fighting over the bridge here. I think this time, both teams choosing not to do anything too complicated, just heading towards the bridge, forming up. I think I saw it in the distance, but it does look like the Bretonians are just behind this ridge here as well. Yeah, look, here we go. Obviously choosing to hide here for now, just to mask their numbers, keep the enemy guessing where they might be coming from. So the admins did just say that the next round is the last round. So we've got this round, guys, and then we've got one more round after it. One cool thing about the Bretonians, there's always one guy on horseback with the main infantry line. So this guy will be leading the way. He is the leader of the Knights Pilgrim, Order of the Lake. Can't remember this lord's name. I think he is commanding the Bretonian forces in this battle. But here we go, guys. Just a huge textbook infantry engagement. The Ome Guard there, holding the centre. The Bretonians do seem to have a slight numerical advantage on this side, so maybe we can see them punch through. Also got the guys from CI moving on the right-hand side here. It does look like the Bretonians are falling back ever so slightly, but I wouldn't say it's a retreat, more of a kind of just tactical few steps back. CI really pushing on that side now. The momentum is building, and actually I would say it's not less of a tactical retreat, more of a full retreat on this side now. How are they looking in the centre? Oh, once again, the Bretonians stepping back, guys. Their centre is just about holding, but I don't know how long it can hold. You got the CI clan wrapping round on this side here, pushing the Bretonians into this small gap on the cliff side. In fact, look, you can see a few men there pulling down the side of the cliff, not able to get back up. They're going to have to go back around, back up. Oh, and there we go. Look, Coronis Ibericus just pushing what remains of the Bretonians on that side down the cliff. Hey! Samson has just informed me that in the parallel event that is happening while this one goes on, the Bretonians are winning in that event. So, unfortunate that they're not in this one. But, you know, guys, you can't win them all. So, anyone joining us, I mentioned earlier in the stream, we are living in a golden age of Bannerlord. This is the Bretonian versus Coronis Ibericus event. And there is a parallel event also featuring the Bretonians, which has another 500-600 players in it. And guys, this is something new. I'd say probably only in the last few months have we had enough interest in Bannerlord multiplayer to actually put on 2 parallel events on a Sunday. Normally we just do the one, but do you know what? Onwards and upwards. I would love it if more people join these events. And do you know what? As this round comes to a close, that is a great moment to plug my clan, the Kingdom of Hordaland. Well, not my clan per se, but the one that I play for. We participate in events just like this one. We participate in the Wednesday Coronis Ibéricus event, the Friday Bretonian events, a few others throughout the week, some Lord of the Rings themed ones. If you are looking to get into these Bannerlord events and you want to have like a gateway clan just to show you the ropes and get you into it, Kingdom of Hordaland, fantastic clan to join. So if you are looking about at it, guys, honestly, don't even let the skill level put you off, because anyone from all skill levels can get involved. Doesn't matter if you're a newbie, doesn't matter if you're a pro. These events accept any player of any skill level. So if you click the link today, there is a link in the description below to join the clan, sign up. There's a fair chance that by this time next week, you could be fighting in one of these battles. So that's all I'll say about it, guys, and we'll switch back to the game camera. So guys, the admins did say that this will be the last round actually. So we've got 6 wins for Coronis Ibéricus, 1 win for the Bretonians. So it will be impossible now for the Bretonians to get enough wins to win the event, but maybe they can go out singing. You know, if they can just get this last win, that could be everything that's needed. Oh, guys, it's control point A again. No, we really wanted control point B because we wanted to see a fight in the town. Ah, such a shame. But the good news is, at least I'm giving you guys a reason to come back in a future game and watch one of the next live streams. So we are currently on the Bretonian side as the infantry form up. We've got the men of Gascony here, being led by Hubold and his elite dragon warriors there. Very, very cool. We've got the men of Languille in their blue and white shields. Okay, and actually their lord is with them now. I forget the name of the Lord of Languille, but there's actually a great website called Bretonia.org that has all the names of the lords and the characters. We've got the Heramalt archers in their green, nicely camouflaged against the grassy backdrop. We've got the Order of the Lake here in their kind of midnight black grey armor. They are fanatical religious characters who fully invest themselves in the myth that is the Lady of the Lake. And to be fair, I'll probably have offended them by calling it a myth. So here we go. Control point A is the one being fought over. And that is interesting because I thought control point A was the one on the other side. Do you know what, guys? I think although it is control point A that's in play, I think the admins must have put out a message that we missed saying for everyone to go on this side. So actually I'm glad they did, because it's going to be really, really cool to see this side of the battlefield. So look, Coronis Ibéricus have made their way to the town first. They've moved across the river and are holding the bank on the far side. And they are just waiting for the Bretonians to come around the hill. Oh, guys, just imagine being one of these infantrymen, just seeing that opposing army coming towards you. What an absolute sight. Sir Alex there out in front, commanding the men. He's the guy that you would have seen on the thumbnail for this video. Oh, just look at the layers of infantry, guys. This is what we live for. Forget who wins. We're just here for the spectacle. Here we go, guys. Couron, Languille coming down the centre, facing off against CI. And then over on the far left, we've got the Bretonians fighting over here as well. Artimois doing a wide flank, getting behind Coronis Ibéricus, but they are moving to counter. Look, number of red shields there. And the main man from CI himself, Sir Alex, once again commanding the men into a sensible position to guard the flank. Very well spotted, very well directed. Ooh, Bretonian cavalry in the back lines. I think they might have got a few kills there. Very, very nice. Oh, guys, this is manic. I would say this is the most manic battle so far. Oh my goodness, over on the other side, more fighting breaking out. Crikey, if this was a Hollywood film, oh, this would be an easy 10 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm so sure. Well, 100%. That's the scale they use, I think. The battle is coming to an end. It looks like Corona Spiricus are once again just pulling ahead ever so slightly. They've pretty much cleaned up on this flank. You can see here the Order of Santiago and the main CI force just sweeping across the battlefield, picking off any stragglers that they can find. The BRE over here doing what they can. Look, this guy here from Gascony being outnumbered by so many men. He's doing his best to fight, but there's nothing he can do against those numbers, and he goes down. Managed to take quite a few hits there. We've got this peasant guy wearing his blacksmith overalls. Oh, he gets knocked down and taken out. No quarter was given. Looks like the Heramalt archers. In fact, no, that's not the Heramalts. That is Astile's shock infantry. Moving around the back. The Heramalts are in this tower. So, guys, this is the last stand of the Bretonians. A handful of archers in this tower doing what they can. Look, there's a few of them at the top here. They would have had a nice vantage point on the battlefield down there. But let's see what they can do, guys. Remember, they are archers, so they don't have any shields. Got a nice duel here. This guy from Corona Sibiricus fighting against one of the Heramalt archers. Oh, he goes down. Looks like they are making their way up to the top here. Let's see how many men they can take with them. Let's do a count, guys. I'm going to count the number of CI units that get taken out. There's one. Ooh. There's two. Let's see if the last remaining 6 Heramalts here can take out the last 52 men from Corona Sibiricus. That would be an absolute spectacle if they can manage it, and probably the most epic thing that's ever happened on this channel. Ekim, yeah, I'm not sure on the lore, bud, but yeah, that might be right. You'll have to ask one of the guys at Bretonia to advise on that. Here we go. CI, yeah, coming together. There's 3. Can they do it? 4 Heramalts remaining. 4, 5. Oh. Down to 2 Heramalts. 6. 7. Can they take out any more? Come on, guys. You can do it. This is such a great last stand. 8 men. Oh, last Heramalt standing. This is it, guys. The end of the last round just comes down to this one guy. Come on. You can do this. Oh, and he goes down. That was such a great last stand, guys. And do you know what? A very fitting end to these battles. So we will just sit tight for a little bit longer. That is technically the official end of the event. So we played 8 rounds in total, and the CI clan won 7 of the rounds, and Bretonia won 1 of the rounds. So it was quite one-sided. I'd say Corona Sibiricus really brought their A game today. Their positioning was excellent, and yeah, there's just nothing the Bretonians could have done. But let's just see. Sometimes there's like a bonus round at the end, where both teams just, you know, spawn in all cavalry and just have for a bit of fun. But okay, but yeah, looking at the numbers, it looks like that might be the end of the round. So let's just follow these cavalrymen for a little bit. Just watch them clash. Looks like we've got a few guys using the skins of the leader of Gizaru. They are moving towards the bridge. Oh, and look at the cavalry coming the other way. Here they go. Oh, no one knocked off yet. Oh, that guy goes down. Oh, man, this is hectic. Look at this. Really cool. Yep, and I think we asked who this guy was earlier, the leader of Langui. And yeah, one of our viewers, I think it's personal account to Get04, thank you, bud, for the information again, did inform us that it is Talbot of Langui. And speaking of Talbot of Langui, there he goes on the floor. So guys, let me switch back to my camera. That does conclude the Sunday Bretonia event. But guys, if you liked what you saw today and you want to get involved in these events, let me just bring something on the screen which you guys will find interesting. Sorry, words are hard. Join us at the Kingdom of Hordaland. This is the clan that I play for. We participate in loads of events throughout the week, just like this one, including the BRE Friday events. If you are looking to get into these and you want a nice, friendly clan that will pretty much accept anyone, you know, whether you're a skilled or a newbie, we play it for the fun. So if you want to get involved, click the link in the description below to the Kingdom of Hordaland Discord. I've even given it a handy shortcut, which is koh.matsfiefdom.com, and that'll take you straight to the Discord. Sign up, and you could be participating in events just like this one within the week. So guys, let me switch back to the camera, and we'll just do a small finishing section. So big thank you to the Bretonian modders who organised this event. Obviously, none of them get paid. So we really do appreciate everything that they do for these events, because without them, these couldn't happen. So big shout out to them. Also, thank you to the leader of the Bretonia, what's his name, Lewin Leoncourt, and Sir Alex of Corona Sibiricus for organising the hundreds of men that they have in their clan to fight together today, just so that we could witness it on the battlefield. Anything else to mention before we go? Only that we have 17 concurrent viewers right at the end of the stream. Guys, what's going on? We needed all you viewers earlier on, but don't you worry, because this video will be up for you all to watch on playback as soon as the stream ends. So if you did miss out, go backwards, watch it from start to finish, because I'll be honest, it was a really good one tonight. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So I have been Matt's Fiefdom, new YouTuber. Thank you to everyone who joined today. Really appreciate the support. And guys, I will see you all in the next one very soon. Take care.